People are tempted to take advantage of get-rich-quick opportunities. Now, in truth, most only take advantage of the consumer through email, identity theft, and investment scams. Here to tell us how to protect ourselves from fraud is Eagle Research Associate Founder Lynn Edgington. We're glad to have you with us.
Glad to be here. Thank you, Ann.
Good for coming on. Talk a little bit about what you guys provide over there at Eagle Research Associates.
Well, we do two things. One, we provide education to the public about internet investment scams, what to look for, how to avoid them. We also provide resources on our website where they can, if they have become a victim of a scam, they can go in and they have the direct links to all of the 50 state regulatory agencies that they can file a complaint online. We have links to international organizations as well in case they're not in the United States. We have all the provinces of Canada's legal where you can go and you can click on and file a complaint. We have research to other different sites that also provide additional information and resources. So we try to have a kind of like a repository, if you will, of everything that has to be put into one place where if you come to us, you can usually go find it.
So if someone is the victim of some type of scam, internet or otherwise, will we get an actual human on the line when we call?
Absolutely.
So someone that can actually take our case personally?
Absolutely. We will talk to you. In fact, if you've been a victim of an investment scam or any type of scam, we have resources that we will put you in contact with that they deal with victims specifically of scams. So we have professionals that we can go to. Our purpose, as we said, we educate the people, but the other side of the coin is we also research and investigate and provide our findings to law enforcement agencies worldwide. So it's a dual-edged sword that we try to perform. We have found that no one is stepping into that void. They're exposing scams, but they're really not taking the next step in providing law enforcement with the tools they need to be able to shut them down.
What are some of the biggest scams?
Oh, gosh. Pay-to-click advertising scams. You have anything that has to do with investments that they promise 3% a day, 2% a day. We've seen it where they provide 144% in a 6-month period of time. This is where they're going to take your money and supposedly they're investing it in products or services, but they never tell you what those products or services are. So you're basically asking to be, trust me, is what they're really saying.
Right.
Unfortunately, in this economic times, these people come out of the woodwork. You'd think they would go down. They don't. They actually increase. So we've seen something like 30, 40 new investment programs just hit the net this week alone, and they're going to keep expanding.
Are you surprised at the amount of people who will invest in something sort of sight unseen in some of these scams? Because you think, well, I need to know at least what I'm investing in, but there doesn't seem to be any shortage of people who will just click right on and say, yeah, help me out.
There isn't, and it does amaze me.
Yeah.
The thing that surprises me is it doesn't make any difference how educated you are or how uneducated you are. We have bankers, we have financial people, of all things. We have attorneys, we have accountants. It covers the broad spectrum. The thing that I think has surprised me more than anything else is because of the advent of the internet, it's now global.
Yeah.
15 years ago, this was maybe a $250, maybe a $300 million a year business. It's a $50 billion business we know of. And the problem is there are so many people that don't report it that number is probably about 50% of what it should be.
Sure, yeah.
And we know it's much higher than that.
Yeah.
You mentioned identity theft, too. What are some ways that you can, what can you do about identity theft? I guess that's the easiest question.
On our website, we have a link about identity theft, and we tell people what they have to do to protect themselves. One of the biggest things that you have to guard yourself against identity theft is when you get an email and you respond to it, and it's what we call the Nigerian 419 email scam, you are giving them your information that it is a valid email. Until that time, they really don't know if they've hit a valid email address or not. But when you respond, they now have your email address. They also have what is called mining software. And from that mining software, they can come in and take over your computer, and they can actually get all your encodes that you put into if you do online banking. If you're doing anything on the internet, they can trace where you go, what you do. They can get all your passwords. This is what that program will do.
From a separate site? From
Yes.
an off-site?
From an off-site. But that's why it's so important that you have virus protection. That's why you have the firewalls. That's why you have the security. That's why all these security firms are out there now providing this service, because it prevents them from being able to do that. But they don't have to do that. All they have to do is get your email address, and I can probably just look at your email address and probably get enough information to find out where you live, because I have your ISP number. I can now go to a database and I can pull it up and tell you exactly where you live. I can get your house number. And from there, I can get additional information about you. It's very easy to do.
Oh, that's frightening.
It's scary.
Lynn, thank you so much for coming in.
Oh, my pleasure.
A lot of great information. We do have the website for folks who want to get more information and contact you. You've also got a 949 number that folks can call you directly at and get help. You've got a lot of terrific people working for you, former FBI agents,
Yes.
all kinds of interesting folk over there that are willing to help out. Thanks again, Lynn, for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
All right.
Whew, it's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, my. Speaking about amazing, now, Orange County Registered Columnist for OC Outdoors, David Whiting,